My son, ask for thyself another kingdom, for that which I leave is too small for thee.
Well, good afternoon, you lovely fisher folk everywhere. It's 25 to 1, Thursday the 6th of March. Pike and Slippers has managed somehow to surreptitiously sneak his way out of work. I don't think my boss is going to be terribly happy about that on Monday, but it seems I've got a little bit of explaining to do to him. Anyway, the weather here today at Loch Tay, which is where I am, is very calm. There's hardly any wind at all. It's constant drizzle, but my spirits are not dampened. We're going to see if we can pick up an esox today. The level of the loch is really quite high at the moment, which is why I can't fish where I was planning to fish. I don't know if you can see it, this map that I've got, courtesy of the Angling Club. I had planned to fish opposite this red marker here, but this is all underwater currently because the River Docker is flooded. So I'm having to fish just below the car park, and I've got my floats positioned at the moment, one float just under these trees. It's in about waist level water, and I've got the other one, my other bait, popped up just off the bottom a similar distance out. So we'll see what we can pick up. The weather's due to do this pretty much all of the day until dusk. I'll give it a few hours at this spot before I see if I can move around the corner perhaps and fish just in the river channel. So we'll just see how we get on, see if we can pick up a fish or two. Now, I've opted to fish fairly standard sea baits today, the kind that you will pick up in any decent tackle shop, and indeed maybe a Tesco's or a Sainsbury's. These little fellas, however, you won't pick up in those shops. These are basically called blueies, which is the slang for them, or Pacific saris, and they're actually very popular with sea anglers and pike anglers alike. You should be able to find this little delicacy in your local Chinese delicatessen if you've got one, and they're actually a very effective bait. You can pick up anything from cod to sea trout on these boys, and you can also pick up the odd pike or two as well, which is always a bonus. In the same way, I'm fishing a fairly standard rig. I don't know if you can see that attached to there. I've got a flying hook here with a barb on it, and I've got a single hook there, and I've got another single hook in the tail. About size 6s, barbless, and these are rigs that I've tied myself. All fixed to 28-pound Drennan pike wire, held together, use the twiddling stick and shrink wrap, and I've got that fixed a couple of feet trace to a swivel, which is tied direct to the main line. Just a simple float, and as I say, I've got that in about waist deep water, and I'm just lobbing it out as far as I can at the moment. Nothing creative, just going to sit here for another couple of hours and see what swims along. I'm just lucky to be out, and I'm happy to be out today, so any fish will be a bonus. Well, it's 20 past 1. I've just been paid a visit by a chap who works on the estate. I guess he wanted to see my permit basically, which is why I came over. I've been reliably informed that the level's quite high today actually for Loch Tay, and I inquired about the drop-off where I would actually like to position my float just on the drop-off to come into the marginal area there, the marginal shelf, and I've been reliably informed that it's a good maybe 40 metres away from where I am at the moment because the water level's so high. There's an island over there called a Crannog, which is basically a ruined settlement and a lot of the pike anglers, they actually fish off that cranog when the water's a little bit low, so they can actually reach the drop off. Where the River Docker actually enters Loch Tay is actually another hot spot, and about 200 yards from where I'm sitting now is actually another area where local pike anglers come to have a dabble, basically. So with that, there's not really a lot I can do. I can't part the waters like Moses, so to speak, so I'm just going to have to sit here and plug away, basically. Spice things up a little bit. I could sink and draw, you know, cast out and pull a wobble dead bait in and repeat that as necessary. Or I could just sit and enjoy the magnificent surroundings around here at Loch Tay. So, you know, it's absolutely stunning, even on a drizzly dreich day like this. One thing I can say is the wind has laid off, which is fantastic. It's worthwhile mentioning a permit here only costs £8 per day, and that will cover you from the start of the trout season, which is on the 15th of March. That will cover you for char, trout and coarse fish alike. So there's quite a lot going on down here. You can actually troll for salmon as well. So like I say, what can I do? I'm just going to have to sit here and plug it out for a little while. Well, as you can see, the rain is still coming down here at Loch Tay. I just had a little bit of a false alarm on my float. My last cast was quite a distance, and I think I found a shelf, and my float was lying flat, so I decided to leave it where it was. And I think that the current or the gentle breeze has just pulled my float into a hole, and it cocked and bobbed, and obviously I leapt up in the air with delight, but it seems to have remained static. So if it goes again, we'll see what we can do. As you can hear by the rain dripping on my umbrella, it is absolutely piddling down here at Loch Tay. It's 4:10 in the afternoon, Thursday the 6th of March. I've made it all the way to the end where the River Docker joins Loch Tay, and I've fished there for about half an hour, 45 minutes. I was a bit perturbed by the water level rising, so I made my way back here. I found this little embankment. I've got my umbrella set up in the barbed wire fence, keeping everything dry. All my kit is absolutely soaked. I was wading through water up there up to my knees, so I got a little bit panicky. Didn't want to stay out there for too long. I found a little sheltered bay here. The water's a little bit deeper than where I was fishing over there, so I think I'm going to stick it out for a little while longer. Maybe till it gets dark. I don't know. The British weather probably going to beat me in the end. So until then, if nothing else happens, thanks for watching, and if I manage to bag one, I'll see you in a little while.
I saw Selassie, I stretched forth his hand to take I cross Jordan River. I saw Selassie, I stretched forth his hand to take I cross Jordan River. I saw Selassie, I stretched forth his hand to take I cross.